All right, guys, Blitz World Series rolling at you here. Rolling at you. That's funny. Every single video I say Blitz World Series coming at you. And recently I was thinking I need to say something different, but I didn't have a plan. And then spur of the moment, Blitz World Series rolling at you here. What do you guys think about that? Blitz World Series rolling at you here. Demo map, month of November. Pro Division. We got Favor Sword in red out of China. He worked his way through the semi-pros. He's on an absolute rampage this month. He's won like 4 or 5 semi-pro games. He beat Marsh. He beat Ed. Or sorry, he didn't beat Marsh. He beat Ed and he beat Zed. 3-0'd Zed, 3-0'd Ed. Did lose to Marsh. That Sword's only loss this month is to Marsh. So now we bring in Legend. We bring in the God of Thunder. We've been kind of working him up the ladder here, and now he's at Legend. We'll see. I'm excited to see how far Sword can go. Of course, in yellow here, we do have Legend out of Jordan. Again, the God of Thunder. Pretty simple when you look at his avatar. You look at it, you're like, oh, okay, that's the God of Thunder. That makes sense to me. All right, so conscripts and rhinos. I know, Ed, I'm just kidding. I actually do. I do have a new avatar in the works for you, Ed. Don't worry. Win or lose, you're going to get a cooler avatar. I think the clown's kind of cool, though, in its own way. All right, conscripts and rhinos. It's going to be Gambit inspired. You know Gambit? You know Gambit, the X-Men character who has the cards that he throws, and they, like, have light on, that they, like... You guys know what I'm talking about? If you don't know who Gambit is, just Google Gambit X-Men. It's more important than this game. All right, let's see how you guys are feeling about this. 50-50 split Sword versus Legend. This would be a hard one for me. Legend, I think what's interesting here, Legend's going to win his Soviet points. I think Legend's the favorite in these Soviet looks. And I think ultimately he's going to be able to win the series with his Soviet looks. I think he will lose his Allied points, but I think he'll win his Soviet looks. So you see Sword shooting the ground there with his conscripts to get them all in one bundle. That's a lot of conscripts, and Legend's not going dogs here. Very odd. I would just rack up 10 dogs. He's going to go Desolator instead. So Legend is forced to pull back to defend here, but should be able to defend no problem. Sword heavily committing to these conscripts. Now Desolator to the front line. Desolator and Legend. Yeah, Legend's just going to blast those Desolators. And all the conscripts go down, and does get, what do you guys think? Probably splash damage equally on both rhinos there. All right, so Desolators now for Legend. Does need to be careful here. Ooh, and Sword eats some lightning on that right side. Keep in mind, guys. Oh, and that demo truck takes out 5 Desolators. Desolators are not cheap early on. And Sword gets the demo truck on the left side. And this is what it's all about. Oh, Legend doesn't see it. Legend doesn't see it. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oof. 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 And that's going to pretty much be the game. You got to think. Legend's going to have to try to make a push here. Not sure he has the units for it. He has some Desolators. If used tactically, he could try to zone him out and make something happen here, but going to be very, very tough. So the demo trucks, guys, I mean, map awareness. Map awareness on this is just so huge. And that's always Legend's downfall, right? We've talked about it before. Legend doesn't really play Blitz. Legend just plays regular Red Alert 2 on smaller maps, and he's so good that it works sometimes. But ultimately, yeah, this is a map where map awareness is so big, and that was a massive hit. That was 3 oils and a War Factory. If Legend comes back here, he'll certainly be proving why he's the God of Thunder. But Sword over to Battle Lab Attack now. The Iron Curtain's out. The Dreadnought's coming. The Kirov's already out. He has the right side of the map zoned out with Desolators and Sentry Guns. So now Legend shifting over to the left side. But Legend has to try to find a way to deal with these Desolators to punch through. There's a Dreadnought coming. He could actually jump in and take that Dreadnought from the land right now. A lot of people don't think of that. You know, you see a Dreadnought, you start thinking like, oh, where's my anti-air? How do I go Navy? The reality is you just go shoot the Dreadnought right now. Kirov coming on the right side. I really want Legend to kill that Dreadnought. It's stressing me out. Kirov doing some work here. That Kirov's going to take a... Ooh, can take that barracks. Oh, I thought the Dreadnought was going to try to shoot the flag. And again, that Dreadnought's just totally exposed right now. Iron Curtain, massive Iron Curtain advantage here for Sword. And it all started with that demo truck, guys. And very, very unfortunate as well, because the Legend strategy in Blitz that we've talked about before, best of 5, right? The Legend strategy is you win Soviet versus Soviet, you lose AVA, you lose your AVS, but then you win your SVA. And then you go to match point and you pick Soviet and you win your Soviet. So Legend's strategy is to win all of his Soviet games, and that strategy does not work if he loses SVS. So Legend does need to really try to find a way to pull this one out. I think it's a big key to victory in this series. Yeah, he is in Blitz QM. I forget. RA2 guy, do you know what Sword's QM name is? I forget. Yeah, yeah. Well, Legend, I mean, Legend, he doesn't learn the crates. Oh, I see drones, but way too early on those drones. Way too early. The tanks have all the time in the world to run away now. He's going to get a handful of them. Hey, still, wow. Hey, he still gets quite a few. Not a huge deal, though. Legend does need to deal with these tanks. Oh, Legend's not dealing with them, though. Drones, yeah, drones do a lot of damage if you don't. Legend literally is not dealing with the drones. Now Legend out with his own drones, his own desolators. Legend dives in, and there you got to think of force shields. Oh, Iron Curtain from Legend. Legend's Iron Curtain was absolutely beautiful. The question is, can Legend hold on the backside? Nuclear reactor goes down. Now he has no power. Force shield goes down. This is a wacky base trade, guys. Can Legend hold his MCV? Oh, and Sword goes for the Iron Curtain. Sword's not going to get the MCV. Sword down MCV. Legend now clicking down tanks, trying to minimize. Oh, and Legend loses his MCV on the backside. And so Sword, you guys, Sword is low power. Sword has a nuke, and he has to sell the nuke. Even if he sells the nuke, he's going to be low power. Sword's going to be low power for the next century. Tons of Desolators to help hold the position. What is Legend producing right now? Is he building drones? He's going Rhinos, staying aggressive here. He knows he has the drones to hold off these Rhinos. Oh, he had a service depot. You had a service depot. I totally forget about the service depot. Service depots are cheap, and in a position like this, they get you back in the game. They come get you completely back in this game. Demo truck? Demo truck now from Sword. We've seen him with some tactical demo trucks before. We saw an Iron Curtain demo truck the other day from him. Tons of Desolators. Legend just really trying to make Sword work for this. Prove that he can convert the position. But you got to think with that MCV, the Service Depot ultimately saving the day here. Wow. They don't know about it. I mean, everyone knows about the service depot. It's just, you just don't see it used very often, especially in Blitz. Repairing your tanks is almost unviable just because the game is so fast. It's very rare. Like right now, Sword has the time to repair his tanks. So repairing the tanks is very rare, but giving you the option to build an MCV is very interesting. So Sword gets a win versus Legend, Soviet versus Soviet, and now the God of Thunder really going to be put to the test. All right, Allied versus Allied now. And Legend losing the Soviet versus Soviet, very, very tough. So, it is only best of 5. If Legend loses, it's tough. It's really, really tough for Legend to lose his Soviet versus Soviet, just because he struggles a little bit with AVA. But the other thing to talk about with Legend, too, is we've talked about him playing regular. He's just playing regular, the standard game in a Blitz map. You know, I mean, we've seen it since day 1, right, with Legend. The oils. He just cannot, he just refuses to build his oils tactically. And that's why that on the bottom left there, the oils took out, you know, he lost 3 oils in a war factory because he's always building his oils too close together. As I say that, Legend is now spacing out his oils. But it's just those little things, and I don't blame Legend. I mean, Legend's focused on the, he's focused on the regular game. You know, he's not in here like keying, like, redefining tactics for Blitz and stuff like that. He's focused on the traditional game, and he comes in here to play, I think, mostly as a favor to me. I don't think he minds Blitz, but he's certainly not passionate about it, and you definitely see that in his gameplay. But, of course, all top-level competitors are passionate about not losing. So we'll see. Of course, Legend is the kind of guy who bends, doesn't break. We'll see what he can bring out here. I mean, Legend's played a ton of Blitz. He knows it. We'll see what he can do. So some GGI's out, GGI IFV's out now. AVA, very nice, good kind of anti-air units can also help in tank engagements if needed. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a dedicated button to grab. If you guys do want to run a service depot, there's a hotkey that'll grab all your damaged tanks. So Legend pushing in here now, using those GGIs to try to clean up that paradrop. Legend now behind enemy lines. Does he have the units for this? You wouldn't think so. God, that pillbox takes forever because Grizzlies are the worst units in the game. Legend, nice unit control here. Doesn't really get any offensive value, but certainly not enough for a counterpunch to come from Sword. Sword now over to Battle Lab Tech, though. I wonder if this is Sword, if this is exactly where Sword wants to be right now at the Battle Lab. Not sure if he quite has enough money. Well, he'll have enough money for tech tanks, but he's going to have to really watch his air units. He's trying to build Rockies as well. So both players now going broke. Very common to see here kind of in the beginning of as we enter the mid game, as both players trying to they want more than they can afford, honestly. Demo truck on the left side, demo truck on the right side. Legend counters both of them nicely. Snipers, Rockies, Mirages. Switch over to Tech is a little bit frustrating, but Legend has the Eagles. What do you guys think in this position? Would you rather have the Eagles or would you rather have the Battle Lab? Well, now you don't have a Battle Lab, so I guess the Eagles were maybe the right decision, but this is a handful of Mirages. This group of Mirages is actually a bit scary here. Legend cannot get caught in the open field right now. He's going to need to hide behind his pillboxes. And you see the way Legend's tucking in on this left side, using the Mesa here to create a choke point, make this position much easier to defend. Legend on 2 barracks now, possibly going to try to pump Rockies, get a lead there. Ooh. So both, so AFC, wow, and Sword does not have an AFC or a Battle Lab now. There's no anti-air. There's a bit of anti-air here. Some Rockies as well. Legend gets his AFC back out. Legend staying ahead on the AFC wars. This is not usually, you know, from Legend, you don't usually see that. That's usually where he falls behind in these blitz games. But like I said, you know, Legend obviously the kind of guy where something happens a few times, he figures it out. So Legend choosing to engage here into these Mirage tanks. A couple Mirage tanks of his own. And Legend certainly in this game did a great job with those Eagles. And now keep an eye. Look at, guys, both players have 2 Eagles. Legend has 3 Eagles. Legend has 3 Eagles. Time to go to work, Legend. Time to go hunting, Legend. There is a Patriot missile. There are some Rocketeers. They are going to get those bombs down. Oh, but Sword. Oh, and Sword doesn't micro. And that could easily be the game there, guys. And it's difficult. You know, the keeping Eagles alive without an AFC is an inherently buggy thing. So when I say didn't micro, I'm really putting too much on the player, because there is some buggy aspects to it. So Legend here targets on the eye feet. There's no more anti-air in this group, so we're going to see Sword have to pull back to his Patriot missile. Sword now out with a Prism tank. Legend's got to stay busy with these Eagles, guys. He can go right down the middle and grab that Battle Lab. Oh, he's got 2 pads of Eagles. He goes for the oil. He's going to get the oil and the Battle Lab. Battle Lab does go down, but an AFC's coming from Sword, and Legend's got 5K in the bank. He should be able to cinch out this game if he doesn't make any mistakes. Rocky's looking for an opening, just trying to keep the action on Sword's side of the field here. We do see the demo trucks out now. Demo trucks out. Legend just wants to make sure nothing too crazy happens with that. AFC out. Ooh, he hits the oil, and that's that blitz awareness you like to see from Legend. Hits the oil instead of the AFC. That's a heads-up blitz move. Good map awareness there. Battle Lab goes down from Legend. But Legend just doing a better job controlling the skies. It's a story we've seen before. It's a story we'll see again. AVA, that's just everything. And Legend choosing to push here. He doesn't need to push here. Certainly doesn't need to push here. You know, he could just sit back and do this with his Eagles. And he's diving on this oil that doesn't really seem very important to me at all. He sends all of his Eagles to grab an oil. The oil doesn't chain react anything. And Legend's stressing me out because Legend's up on air. He just needs to be controlling the AFC and the Battle Lab. This oil would take out the MCV. Oh my God, I'm sure you guys in the chat were yelling this. Were you guys in the chat yelling this? And Legend pushes in again. Why is Legend... Oh my God, Legend's stressing me out so bad. Legend, you're on 13K. He's not building his Eagles. Legend's not building his Eagles. This is not what you expect from Legend. You know, lapses in judgment when it comes to blitz, that's common. But choosing just completely erroneous engagements, decision-making that's just so far off on value, the dive for that oil, that insignificant oil, he pulled his Rockies out of this engagement. Like he chose an engagement that wasn't good, and then he pulled the Rockies off the engagement. I don't know. Yeah, you guys know I try not to shit on people too much. Certainly, I try not to question pro players. You guys have seen me play, but this one's very, very frustrating. Now Sword gearing up. He has tons of Patriot missiles now. Legend in the water now. Sword is gapped up. You guys can take a look at the mini map. Both players pretty gapped up now. Both players that jump over to the water, and both players going broke. So Legend. Oof. And this oil, guys. I mean, that's the oil. It would take the MCV. He would probably save the MCV realistically, but...
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, the demo truck on the left side would be pretty nasty. Both players dead broke here. And Guy, can you make sure, you know, Guy, can you make sure that Sword knows you can only build 12 oils per game? It's not 12 at one time, it's 12 total. It really only comes up in AVA at the top level, so make sure he knows that. Legend just needs to be careful here because he's broke. Oh, and he gets the MCV. And you know, there's a move, there's a move for that. When you build your oil next to your MCV and then someone snipes it, it's called getting Legend, because it only happens to Legend in the pro level. But today, Legend's on the better side of fate. Legend's the one who's hitting Sword with it. But Legend does this every game. Like, look at this. Legend does this literally every game. The first time we saw it, you guys remember Artie's game? It was like Artie's pro debut on the castle map, and Artie beat Legend. I think that's actually one of my more viewed YouTube videos. It's a pretty good one. But Legend hit Artie, or Artie hit Legend with that. It's so funny. So Legend still wins that. All right, so here we go now over to point number 3. So Allied versus Soviet here. So Sword on a loss. He's going to take Soviet. So yeah, Sword prefers Allied, but maybe he feels like he'd rather have his preferred faction in point number 4, ride some momentum into the championship. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe he just prefers, he wants to face Legend's Allied. So we shall see here. Now, yeah, that last point, oh man, Legend was really stressing me out. I mean, I think, and you know, it was funny. I think it was actually Andy who said it to me originally. I was like, what, like everyone's making jokes about Legend's tank control and Legend doing stupid stuff sometimes. And I was like, I don't get it. Legend's like one of the best players in the world. And I think it was Andy who was like, Legend's so far ahead oftentimes that he just leads his tanks in a straight line and he'll still win games against players. And it's a pretty funny thing, because I mean, Legend there ultimately just made a completely wacky, asinine decision to engage, you know, but it didn't matter because he was so far ahead. So that's how Legend does things. God of Thunder, man. He's all rock and roll. There's no jazz. There's no tiptoeing around. It's just thundering downfield recklessly and building oil surrounding your MCV. AKB with the sub on YouTube. Appreciate it, buddy. So Flak, yeah, so Sword now early Flak. Yeah, I think he learned the hard way what the Allied Eagles can do here. It's interesting to see Legend going 1 Eagle. I like the 1 Eagle on this map, especially to help control the crates when they come out. So it's kind of a scary amount of rhinos getting here pretty quickly. Sword now on 2 war factories, but Sword is going broke. I think that flat cannon probably threw off his build just a little bit here. Snipers, GGI's out. GGI's to help hold the line for Legend. And we do get a raid from Marco, the GOAT, the final boss. That's what we call Marco the final boss. He's just sitting on the sidelines, sharpening his sword until it's the end of the month when he comes in and crushes noobs. So yeah, Legend knows the name of the game here very simply. He's going to tuck in. He's going to slow this game down. He's going to get his battle lab out. He's going to try to win this one from the skies. Nice Prism Tower from Legend there. Ooh, and oh my god, there was dogs. There was dogs in that flak cannon. Now Legend forced to bait here. Oh, the demo truck comes on the bottom side. And the rhinos rolling through. Legend not going to be able to slow this one down. I think Allied is so funny because you're like, oh, look at Allied's base. He's got some GGIs. He's got his pillboxes. It's like, this all looks nice. All of a sudden, 6 rhinos. Boom. Just bulldoze through. All right, guys. So now over to point number 4 here. So now Legend a little bit more comfortable here with Soviet. But Sword has proven himself to be a very, very strong Allied player. So I don't know. This one could go either way. Of course, Legend down on momentum right now, fighting to stay alive. Sword fighting to send him home to prove himself. Any of you guys who just joined in the stream here, Sword is he plays traditional under Coverburr. He's a top level traditional player, just making his Blitz debut here in the last few days. He's already on. He's won like 4 or 5 semi-pro games. He beat Zed. He 3-0'd Zed. He 3-0'd Ed. He lost to Marsh. Right now, his only loss is to Marsh right now. So certainly proving himself right now against Legend. Legend took a couple hard hits, though. That Soviet versus Soviet game, a demo truck caught Legend on the backside. That was pretty nasty. But wait, hold on. Can we go back and talk about this for a second? Did we see Sword bring a flak track with dogs in it and then drive into a group of GIs? It was a dog bomb for GIs. That's hilarious. And that's why I really like about Sword, man. I'm so excited about this player. You guys can see the energy. I'm stoked about Sword because he's not just like a good player. He's doing wacky shit. Yesterday we saw an IC demo truck an IC demo, and then he was using demo truck. He was like tactically using demo trucks in one game. We just saw the dog bomb. I mean, we saw Boris in his first game. He's using everything at his disposal and putting on a good show for us, which is always fun to see at the top level. So Legend skirting in now, trying to use that Rhino advantage early on. Not as many pillboxes as you'd expect to see from Sword here, and Legend's able to get out of the zone of that pillbox. Another pillbox joins the party now. Pretty good group of Grizzlies here, but Legend with a batch of Rhinos, of course, is always going to be scary. Using the Eagle defensively, it does land, and the pillbox spam is beautiful right now, and that's what it's all about, boys. The pillboxes make or break these positions. I hear so many newer players talking about tank control. I'm getting rolled through. How do I defend myself? You know, how do I use my tanks to defend myself? The pillbox spam. Building, placing, and repairing pillboxes at maximum speed while also maintaining unit control. That's really the way that, you know, top-level players defend, particularly in an AVS matchup. The pillboxes are just everything. That's why you don't want to get your Grizzlies in the open field. It's just, you know, obviously, I mean, unless you're, you know, the best player in the world. You can grab some dogs and try to get lucky. Demo truck's out now. Legend's going to get the left one. Looks like Sword's going to get the one on the right. Legend needs to be careful. Oh, Legend's not reacting at all to the one on the right side. Legend saves the demo truck on the left side. I don't think Legend even cares. Legend's just like, screw it, dude. Do whatever you want. I'm attacking. If I don't win in the next 10 seconds, the game's over. That demo truck does clear out a little bit. Demo truck goes right to Legend's base. Look, this demo truck's just chill. Look at this demo truck. He's like, where should I go? Oh my God, he's still there. And Legend doesn't care. Legend doesn't care. He's the god of thunder. Demo my base. You think I care about a demo truck? The demo truck's still AFK. That's cracking me up. The MCV is going to go down here. And that decision making at the top level is so interesting. When you choose to take the MCV, so many younger players get so excited and they just click on the MCV as soon as it's open. But, you know, making the decision of when to hit it versus when to be attacking a pillbox or enemy tanks is very interesting. Legend now with his tank split up here. He's going to get another War Factory on the right side. Needs to be careful. Doesn't want to get counter punched. Sword just GG's out. That demo truck wasn't enough for him. Yeah, he knew the end of that story. So Legend puts one on the board. The barn is officially burning. Oh my God, what a barn burner, boys.
Wake your ass up, because it's time to go beast mode.
Legend going beast mode. This one's tricky, boys. This one's tricky. The barn is officially burning. It's match point. It all comes down to this. And Legend off to a pretty tough start here today. I thought this story was going to be going very differently, but of course that's why we call him the God of Thunder. So Legend putting on a show for us, but Sword certainly proving himself. Man, it's so funny to see someone coming in blitz and playing like this so quickly. But that's what it's about, being 15. Sword's 15 years old. When you're young like that, you know, you adapt a little bit quicker, right? He's a little bit more malleable, and obviously willing to try new things a little bit quicker. 15-year-olds, man. Never underestimate a 15-year-old when it comes to video games, apparently. So, as always, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube and you've gotten here and you're enjoying the action, like, comment, and subscribe. It's free for you. It helps me immensely. I know everyone on YouTube's always saying that. I know you're annoyed about it, but it's true. The YouTube algorithm does rely on likes and comments to know what content's good. So, do that, and then it'll get in front of more people, and then we'll get RA to the moon. If you want to do more than just watch, you should come play. We got a tournament every month, divisions for all skill levels. Seriously, all skill levels. This Wednesday, we got the Division 5 tournament, but we run that every month for new players. My girlfriend might play. She doesn't even know how to play her MCV. So come play. You can get the information there at redalert2.com. If you're feeling particularly generous, we are currently trying to raise money for the Blitz World Cup. Blitz World Cup in December. Currently trying to raise money for that. All the money that comes in goes back to the players. Helps me keep the action rolling. You can find the donation link at redalert2.com as well. Big shout out to these players for not doing anything too crazy while I got my spiel in. Okay, Conscripts coming over the hill, Sword with the higher ground now. Desolators for Legend. So we saw their first SVS game, for those of you guys who missed it, was pretty close. Ultimately, I feel like Legend was ahead. Similar opening, Sword forcing Legend to go to these Desolators. Legend building too many Desolators for my liking right now. This is a lot of Desolators. It is putting him broke. But last time, I think Legend was a little bit ahead, but then a demo truck on the backside just completely crushed him. So we'll see if he learned from that, if he's going to come out here a little bit differently. Bunker's out now. Bunker's a nice, safe place to deal with getting away from those Desolators. Oh, those Desolators almost took those Conscripts right before they were like on the door of the bunker. All right, so a little bit of a Rhino lead for Sword. 3 War Factories, 4 4 War Factories for Sword now. You'd think Sword would have a War Factory lead. Sword didn't go radar. So demo trucks on both sides for Sword. How quickly can Legend respond? It will take out that bunker. Bunker goes down on the left side. Ooh, barracks goes down on the left, left bunker, right side. Anyway, not too bad. Battle Lab super exposed on the left side. Sword, I was like, is Sword splitting or is this pathing just confused? I think his tank's just getting a little bit confused. Sword continuing with a bigger Rhino advantage here. So we are seeing a little bit more of kind of that Eastern Chinese style that you think of. You know, Soviet and just tons of Rhinos. Now over to a radar, but essentially just smashing War Factory, smashing Rhinos. But as I say that, Sword going to mix things up for us and get a little interesting. Now building a demo truck, sending a demo truck down the middle, grabs a War Factory, grabs a bunker. Obviously, you guys know that I love that. Very, very clever. And just as I'm saying that we are seeing more of a Rhino strategy here from Sword, he immediately jumps over to tech, Battle Lab out, nuclear reactor out, and now he's going to get in the water as well. So Legend with a bit of a water advantage. If he can get 2 shots off, if he can take this oil would take the Battle Lab. Legend's only going to get 1 shot off before the squid gets him. The flak cannon out in time, not going to matter. Desolators on the right side now. And so Legend gets another Dreadnought out. It's possible that it's not going to matter, though. It's just really not going to matter. Legend probably should have opened squids, maybe, but he thought he was going to get a quick, sneaky Dreadnought in. Big engagement on the right side here. Legend's Desolators out of position, not going to be helping him here. Legend had to switch over to flak tracks as well to deal with the Kirov, so the flak tracks threw him even further out of the Rhino race in this position. Sword rolling through now. Iron Curtain goes down. War Factory goes down. MCV going down. Sword drops the hammer, and Sword wins. Sword taking down Legend, a very impressive